For those of you that don't know who Shemar Stewart is, he's a 3-year player from Texas A&M. He's an edge rusher, so you think, he'd be very disruptive and he'd have a lot of production, and that's why he's projected as a first-round draft pick. If you thought that, you'd be wrong, because Shemar Stewart in 3 years at Texas A&M had 4.5 sacks. That's 1.5 sacks a year. Does that seem like a first-round draft pick to you?
That's an elite Myles Garrett type end.
I'm seeing him being compared to Myles Garrett. The only reason he's being compared to Myles Garrett is because they both went to Texas A&M. They might have similar measurables. Do measurables win you football games?
Yo, he out-broad jumped Myles Garrett. He's obviously going to be able to get more sacks than him.
Myles Garrett was a production machine at Texas A&M. He balled out. Shemar Stewart, he's a freak athlete. That's why he's projecting and skyrocketing up these boards, because he balled out at the combine. We talked about him already. He is a classic case of underwear Olympics overhype. If he's that freak of an athlete, he should be dominating SEC offenses. If you are that much of an athlete that you run, I think it was a 4.5 40, and you display that kind of athleticism, you should get more than 1.5 sacks a year. A lot of people are saying he's a project, and yes, he is a project. But to me, it's not even that he's a project. In order to be a project, you have to show some semblance of being a good football player. He flashes, but he's not productive. He's a great athlete, but he's not a great football player. The Carolina Panthers taking him at 8? Do you know how far that would set your team back? If you're taking a guy in the top 10, you expect him to be a Pro Bowler or all-pro caliber talent. What has Shemar Stewart done that makes you think he'll be anywhere close to that? If you are that level of athlete with that level of football player, you dominate the SEC. Like Myles Garrett did, like Mykel Williams did. We're going to talk about him. Potential doesn't matter if you're just not that good of a football player. Go ask the Colts how much potential helped Anthony Richardson become a great football player.
One of his highlights here, I saw this.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of a bad play. He's number 4 in this one.
Yep.
It's a read option. He just overcommits with no one outside.
He's lucky he wasn't penalized for that.
Well, also, not only is he lucky that he's not penalized for that, Dr. Preston, back me up here. In an option scenario, if you're this guy, your job is contained. Your job is to keep everyone inside of you because you have no one out here.
You have to make the quarterback make a decision.
You have to force it into the field over by the logo as much as possible because there's no one out here. All these corners are back here.
He just runs straight for the quarterback
with no fault.
No.
And because he does that, look at all this space. And look, this is his highlight film. This is his highlight film. You know what? I got to. I can't not. Hold on.
10-foot 9-inch broad jump, 40.5-inch vertical, 4.43 40. I just think that this is like the eye opener. This was the wow.
So we have found a flaw in Joe Burrow before the combine really gets underway. 9-inch hands.
They skipped on me. That's their look.
Moral is, go watch the tape.
Fuck you, watch the tape.
Watch the tape.
This is because look, it compromises the whole defense. Now that linebacker has to play inside. Like he's supposed to scrape over at the outside. He has to try and make a play by going inside, which is something he's not taught to do, just to try and make a play on the running back.
His consistent production, he actually got 1.5 sacks every year. It's not that it averaged out to him getting 1.5 sacks every season. It's that he only got 1.5 sacks every season.
Riley,
he had 30.
He had 30. That's 10 a season. I don't understand why the NFL does this. I've never understood why you would take a really big boom or bust pick in the first round. If you're drafting high in the first round, you can afford to not hit on players.
What did he say?
Because your team probably sucks. You need all of the great football players you can get. If he hits, you look like a genius. But if you take him in the first round and he misses, you look stupid. You look incompetent. Take the great football players.
Also, check this very quality highlight.
Okay, let's watch it.
It's him missing a sack. How is that a highlight? That was a highlight for him. It's him not being able to beat this left tackle and then letting the quarterback escape.
Again, dude, he just runs right at the quarterback.
That's literally athletic talent saving him.
Yes.
Honestly, this dude should have been gone. He misses this running lane right here. Look, this dude could have been gone. This dude is a second-round defensive end, and that's still really good.
But he has a lot of work to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like it seems like nitpicking when you're going through stuff like this, but it is because these are the decisions that make or break franchises. We're talking about a team like the Carolina Panthers who've been struggling for years, and they have a top 10 pick to try to make the best decision for their future to try to compete in the NFL. And they're going to get a dude whose highlight film involves a lot of him not doing great stuff. But we're talking about the 8th pick overall. Can't console that argument. Not especially when you have someone like Mykel Williams.
Yeah, if you haven't already subscribed to the TTT, you should definitely go subscribe to the TTT. Mykel Williams produced at Georgia. I mean, the first thing when you watch tape, he's just a freak athlete and he's stout. He's stout at the point of attack. A lot of times when you watch Shemar Stewart come off the edge, he had small hands.
He was allowing guys to get up and get a hold of his pads.
Yes. With Mykel Williams, you don't see that. He's standing up a lot of times. The fact that he was so productive while having really bad technique, to me, is a green flag.
As an interior defensive lineman who would once rely on raw size just to make plays, this right here, this is the apex of it. Look right here. So he gets his body in. This dude gets connection. He then fights. It's hard to see from this angle, but this dude is now fighting. He's got his arms separated, and he just throws his body off. Boom. Tap.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
If it wasn't for Abdul Carter, I think Mykel Williams would be the best edge rusher in this draft. Abdul Carter, I think, is just such a cut above in terms of technique and just his explosiveness off the edge. Dude, like if I'm Carolina and he falls to me at 8, I am running that pick up to the podium. That is a dude that I can build around, not even scratching the surface of his potential. And he also already has a very high floor. So I know I'm going to get production out of it. Like with Shemar Stewart, you don't know what you're going to get. Dude had 1.5 sacks a year at Texas A&M.
I mean, Mykel Williams is averaging 4.5.
And I mean, if you watch him, he blows shit up. He blows shit up at the point of attack. He creates nightmares for offenses, not just quarterbacks, but for offense.
This guard right here, Mykel Williams gives him the little brother. He's got one hand on that offensive lineman's chest, and he's like, you can't touch me. I'm just going to do what I want to do.
Oh my God, that's awesome. If you just compare and contrast the highlight film, bro, like it's a no-brainer.